United Somali Bantu of Greater Pittsburgh have adopted this almost 3/4 of an acre lot to have a farm. The Adopt a Lot program is the way that people can access city-owned lots for food, flower, or rain gardens.
How long has this been here?
This is their second year on the land, but the first year really growing a crop. Last year I came out it was about this time last year, and they had corn that was maybe like 6 inches tall, and I was like, oh, there's a saying here in Pittsburgh, knee-high by the 4th of July, and they were like, oh, okay. But they were just trying it out and seeing, what this land was capable of, and then this year they just came out at full force.
What brought you here to the country?
Peace, education, and changing life. The last 2 seasons I have learned a lot, especially last year where we was like playing around with the dirt, and when we were doing the soil test, we were together. It was kind of yes, no, but at the end it says yes. Then I talked to the elders. All they did was get a pen and dig it to the ground and say, hey, something will grow up from here. Just tell them, give us approval. To me, I'm learning from the elders. All I have is the language.
But the elders have some experience in growing.
Growing, yes.
And they're giving that information to you.
To me. And you can see the difference it is. It's not like the way we normally do in United States as farming. Doesn't look like that. It's totally to the way that they wanted to do.
They were really concerned with passing on the farming traditions to the youth, because the youth, a lot of them were born in refugee camps and didn't ever have a chance to garden, and so they were really keen on making sure that they were able to pass down that knowledge.
It gets too bitter to eat.
Yeah, okay. That's
it's
for
gonna make seeds. Oh, you're gonna save the seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So most of the stuff we're saving for seed.
Oh, okay. So you know what you're doing.
Last year, the first zucchini I picked, I pulled out the whole thing. I realized it's not an easy job, but I was wondering myself, like, how did my dad did for life?
This was how your dad made a living.
Yes.
The Somali they're a farming community. They come from a farming community, and it's been 20 years since they've had land to grow on. So I'm really happy that we could provide a little bit of land for them to farm on, and to see what they've done with it just is amazing. I love this. This is one of my happy places for sure.
Tell me about the fun.
The fun thing is when you're starting to farm, there is a lot of like kids coming around, running around, digging, taking soil to the other side, and putting the seeds on the ground.
I think another thing too is just the knowledge that people get. We're like urban people, a lot of people don't have a lot of farming knowledge or backgrounds, and so the knowledge and kind of the connection to seeing their food grow, especially children. A lot of these programs involve children and engage children, and to see them learning about all of that, understanding where their food comes from, and food utilization, which is like the knowledge about how to prepare your food, is a big part of food security. And like this is kind of the best you can get with that, being truly connected to where it's growing and picking it and learning how to prepare it.
What do you get out of it doing such a wonderful job like this?
Like I said, this is my happy place. I really, what do I get out of it? Super warm fuzzies. I really love this, and I love to see things growing in the city and see people just, the fact that I can help to provide this for them is a real joy for me. Well, another thing that I get out of this job and doing this is I have another place to buy food when they have their market stand, and to learn more about agriculture, because they're saving the seeds. Of course they're saving the seeds. They know so much more about this.
I know. It's amazing. I was second guessing them, and I shouldn't have been.
We learned something today, Doug.
Yes, I did.
It's great.
Yeah, yep. And thank you, Shelly. We still want to have another space like this if it's possible.
I'll find you more space. So we have 7,000 vacant lots in the city, and we've adopted out 150.
Wow.
I know it's just a drop in the bucket, but I think it's made a big difference to the people in the communities that have had these lots adopted.
It's really interesting in a place like Pittsburgh. There is a lot of vacant properties, there's a lot of blight, and to see something that turned from something that is kind of a sore spot in a community, something that brings down property values and really kind of disengages and disconnects the community, and see it turn into something where it can bring the community together. Today we're like standing here among five men who are all working this land, and it's beautiful to see people. And we've seen it, like, I mean, they have the market too, where people like come to the spot and see it as a source of pride and stuff. And it's cool to see that transformation, I think.
For the future, I'd like more sites like this. My area of interest is food policy and making sure that people are fed. We have 63,000 Pittsburghers who are food insecure. And having more sites like this, more gardens like this, more communities that do this kind of work is going to help to reduce those numbers. I'd like to see sites like this made into permanent food access points for people, made into permanent urban agriculture sites, so that even if these guys move on to a farm in the peri-urban area, this could be more of an incubator for someone who hasn't done such a large scale before.
The best thing for me is I am in America, I have good education, I get to do what I want to do, and I also learn the background of my culture, including I have a feeling that where like tomorrow, if my country becomes peace, I have an opportunity to make difference all around the world.